Hey, what's up? I'm Jaquan,
I'm Jasmine.
and welcome to the Film Spill.
Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about the movie King Richard. This is a drama sport movie, and I'll read you guys the summary. Armed with a clear vision and a brazen 78-page plan, Richard Williams is determined to write his two daughters, Venus and Serena, into history. Training on tennis courts in Compton, California, Richard shapes the girls' unyielding commitment and keen intuition. Together, the Williams family defies seemingly insurmountable odds and the prevailing expectations laid before them.
Exactly. So, as you know, I love this movie so much. It was definitely a top movie that I watched in a long time. Whenever we had to actually give our ratings, I definitely said this movie was a 4 out of 5. Only reason why I didn't give it a 5 is because I'm just in this big superhero craze right now. So if it's not a superhero, I kind of just, I had to leave some points off of it. But other than that, it was an amazing movie. I want to get into my pros and my cons. So, all right, these are my pros. As a dad, I felt this movie. I actually shed a tear. I just thought it was so amazing to see, someone not only just stand up for their children, but to also push them as well. So I really love that he had a plan. It's crazy. You said it was 78 or 76? 70. So
78.
that's crazy. You literally have a dad who's like, all right, cool. This is kind of like the playbook. This is the play by play of how my girls are going to be successful. I truly love that. I love how relentless he was in making sure that his children be great. He believed in them before anybody else believed in him. I loved when he was calling his children MJs. They was like, oh, you got Michael, you got the next Michael Jordan. He was like, I actually got the two next Michael Jordan. So he was really big on Venus and Serena. And I truly love just his belief system in his girls. He really knew that there was going to be something special. Something that we talk about a lot in the African American community. Dads not being there for their children, and he was present. He was present in his children's life, and I truly love watching that. I think that was very, very special, and it was different, right? We normally don't see dads, especially inside of films or TV shows. Somebody who's actually around, basically being a great role model. So I thought that was really nice. I love how he stood up for his children when he felt like people was going to take advantage of them. He wanted to make sure that, and I also love that he taught them morals. Like, whenever they had won and they had began bragging, like early, I think it was like they was doing like some one of the junior meets or one of the earlier tennis matches, and they were bragging. He didn't like that. He was like, "No, we're gonna go home and watch this movie." I think it was Cinderella or Snow White.
I forgot what it was.
It was one of those Disney princess movies, but he was like, "Nah, y'all gonna watch this." Yeah, so that was it's just amazing overall. I think Will Smith did an amazing job. When he portrayed this character, it was just so amazing, and I loved it. Let's talk a little bit about the cons. So since it is Will Smith, one of the biggest things that happened recently is Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have seen it. The sad thing about that night is he also won an Oscar for the role of being King Richard, but the slap overshadowed it. Like, man, so many people talk about it from that standpoint. Like, this was his very first Oscar, but the slap overshadowed it. The next con that I have, I kind of wish that they would have showed more about Serena. I feel like it was really, really a lot about Venus, in my opinion. They had some parts when they was talking about Serena and her being younger and her was it around the time frame. I think she was doing like the juniors. Venus was doing the juniors, and Serena, she snuck and go sign herself up to go play, or even like I was telling him when he said that he had the next two Michael Jordans. But other than that, I feel like most of the film was kind of centered around Venus and her plight. I feel like they could have gave her more shine, especially who she ended up becoming. Another con I had, I felt like he was very, very extra sometimes, like him passing gas during a meeting. That was just really, really extra. Or how he treated his wife, who I thought was very, very supportive. I loved her whole journey throughout that process. She was also as supportive as Richard was, but she was kind of more so, laid back with it. He was kind of the one that was like, up in the rain with the kids, and she was kind of still handling business at home. But she also, it was some time frames when she actually, she participated in some of the training exercises as well with the kids. But I felt like just how he kind of treated her sometimes was kind of extra. And I guess the last con I had which is really probably the reason why another reason why I probably gave it a 4 instead of a 5. I felt like even though he had other daughters, even a son that we found out towards the end, they really didn't go in detail about what their dreams were. Besides the part when he was like, "I got future lawyers and doctors inside here," but they really didn't go in detail as far as like his other children. It was just more so about Venus and Serena, and I kind of wish they would at least talk a little bit more about their like him, just showing him give more time to those kids, because it like he didn't give no time to them. Like he wasn't with them helping with homework, or trying to like, oh, okay, what do you want to do, let's even if it was just like a one scene with him being with all the kids pushing them towards their dreams, it seemed like he was just more focused on Venus and Serena, and that was kind of extra, well, messed up in my opinion. And of course, towards the end of the film, of course, they went in detail and talked a little bit about what some of those girls ended up being, but we really didn't see Richard interact with those other girls besides the oldest one, who whenever somebody was hollering at her, he was like, "Nah, you gotta not talk to my daughter like that." But yeah, those that's my con, my last con.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it said those were his stepdaughters.
Okay,
So I don't know.
maybe
But
that's why.
also, it is just a movie and it's just a 2 hour glimpse into somebody's whole entire life. So I'm sure they can't put every single thing in there. That doesn't mean, if it's a movie focused on Venus and Serena, they're probably not going to go into the other siblings. We definitely seen them up there, but I can understand if they didn't really get into that. But pretty much like I said, you hit on most of my points. But I do feel like, okay, like yeah, like okay, he was very supportive of them, very. And my only thing with that, because they said that he prepared a plan for success before they were even born. So I guess when she was like pregnant or whatever with them, he had already prepared the plan that he
Oh
wanted
wow.
to do with them. My only problem with that is it doesn't seem like you're giving your child a choice. It's like you're going to do tennis, and this is my plan I have laid out for you, 78 pages or whatever it was. And this is what you're going to do with your life. And I don't like that, because you're not giving your child a choice. It's not like your child is like, hey, I'm really into tennis, or I really love it. And then you're like, okay, you know what? We're going to set a plan for you. It's like, no, this is what you're going to do before you're even born. I already know what you're about to do with your life. And I just don't like that, because it's like, what if they don't want to do that with their life, or they're only doing it to make you happy or whatever? So that's
Yeah.
the problem I have with that. And then a lot of times parents live through their kids. Like they wanted to do it, they didn't have the opportunity growing up, so they're like make their kids do it. So that's the only part I didn't like. But I really liked how he created the brochures and videotapes for them. When he was trying to find a professional coach, he was like trying to show people them all the time. Like he really went the extra mile. Like he said, he trained in the rain. Like a lot of people, parents or whatever, coaches, I mean, whatever, they're not gonna go out in the rain and just train somebody. And then it was that time he got the guy the coach to train, but he only trained Venus because he was doing it for free. But they were still working with Serena and stuff. But I like how they, like you said before, like he stressed to them to always remain humble despite their success, because I'm sure as an adult, that's just something that people might struggle with when you're very successful, to also be humble and stuff. But as a child, I'm sure that that's probably hard too. Um, and then like the coach telling him like they will never turn pro, which is so crazy because they did. But he was saying that because yeah, he didn't, like you said, he didn't want them playing in the juniors a lot. He wanted them to be normal little girls. And
Yeah, I love that a lot.
yeah, and I didn't understand at first, but he was saying like they would get burnt out really fast, and they seen like other girls it happened to how they would possibly end up, but because they was playing those tournaments so much, they would get burnt out. And he wanted them to train a lot, but he just wanted them to go to school like normal girls and train, but he didn't want them playing the junior tournaments like a whole lot. And I know that was hard because they really
Yeah,
wanted
yeah, they
to.
really wanted
The
to.
wife really wanted them to, so he was like causing rifts with his wife, causing rifts with his daughters, with the coaches, because everybody was like on the same page except for him. So I just feel like as a parent, that's a hard thing. It's like a fine line. It's like, what do you do especially when your spouse is not on the same page as you. Like, how do you handle that kind of stuff? But I feel like that's just stuff you don't know until you really go through it. But overall, it was a really good film. I love those types of films. It was really, really good, and I give it a 4 out of 5.
Definitely. I would definitely recommend you guys watch, it, especially if you're a dad. Not even if you are a dad. Just I think it's ultimately it was really a good movie. Will Smith did an amazing job. Those girls did an amazing job. Everybody did an amazing job, and I think that it definitely teaches you a lesson. So. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys like, comment, share if you guys like this post. And stay tuned for the next one.